Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. I know I've been MIA. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. But on any note, it's been a lot of news that I have missed that I have not made any videos about. But today I came across something and I wanted to say something real quick about it. So, Ari Lennox, I love Ari Lennox. She is a beautiful black woman with a beautiful voice. And I feel like she should be bigger than what she is. And I don't know why she's not. But nonetheless, she said something that has everybody in an uproar. And the thing is, what she said is not new. This same exact conversation has come up before. But anyway, today it seems to be the talk of social media. She said something regarding the 90s black TV show Martin. She basically was saying that the way Martin roasted or made jokes about the character Pamela James, who was played by Tashina Arnold, really affected her as a darker skinned black woman, and she finds it problematic. And this is not new, this has come up before. Here's what: there are valid points that I've seen on both sides of this situation. Multiple things can be true at once. A lot of the shows from back then and even back further in the 80s and 70s were problematic. They would not even be able to air today, or they wouldn't be able to air and say some of the things they said. However, a lot of things get a pass when it comes to comedy. I've never agreed with that, but I understand it. Because what I find funny, you might not. What you find funny, I might not. Certain things I don't think anybody should find funny, but they do. Nonetheless, the biggest complaint I have with this whole scenario is how y'all are attacking Ari Lennox for her thoughts on this. So the one point is she was young when Martin was on anyway. That doesn't matter because those shows are in syndication and you can watch them right now. I can go home and watch Martin from the first season to the last season right now. So just because she was young when it came out doesn't mean that she's never watched it. Y'all do know that. But then the other thing that's really bothering me with the way y'all coming at her is that y'all are basically, it seems, trying to tell a dark-skinned black woman how she should feel. She said what she said. She's not necessarily wrong. In fact, she's not wrong. Y'all are trying to harp on the fact that there were never any jokes directly made about Pam's skin color. And there weren't. However, the jokes that were made are literally colorist dog whistle jokes. Like, I know when you play in the dozens and you ribbon on each other, like, there is no line sometimes, and that's fine. But let's not deny what's actually there. Now, don't get me wrong, Martin is one of my favorite shows. This is not going to stop me from watching it. This conversation has come up multiple times and it's never stopped me from watching it. But I'm also not going to lie or be disingenuous about things that were problematic in shows from back then. There were problematic things in a lot of shows back then. That's it and that's all. But I don't like the fact that y'all trying to tell this black woman how to feel or trying to call her a victim or trying to say, oh, she being too woke about it. No, that's really not the problem and that's not the case. We can admit that something was not okay while still saying this was a classic show. We can admit that. No different than when once I got old enough, the love story in Love and Basketball was trash. I was all googly eyed about it when I was younger, but as I got older, I was like, this is the most trash story, love story I've ever seen in my life. You grow up and you see things differently. That's it and that's all. You grow up and you see how things can have problems within the story. Now, here's the thing though. Is it true that Pam joked on Martin just as much? Yes. But it's the difference between joking about somebody's height and joking about traits that specifically have to do with being black and being dark skinned. They never made jokes about her skin tone, but the jokes were about texturism, like with her hair and such. And that is a branch of colorism. Anyway, my whole thing is y'all don't need to be attacking her about her thoughts on this. She's a dark-skinned black woman. If she was affected by it, she was affected by it. Are there tons of dark-skinned black women out there who were not affected that same way? Absolutely. But that doesn't take away how she felt. Like, y'all gotta stop thinking that people have to feel how you felt about something. Nobody has to feel how you felt. Nobody has to ignore or deny a thing just because you don't like it. Just like she doesn't have to watch the show if it makes her feel that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there are ways around these situations where nobody has to tell anybody else what they should or shouldn't do or how they should and shouldn't feel. And I think that's kind of where y'all get lost. On any note, my only thing is, if we are going to start looking at the patterns of things and talking about this specific subject, talk about it fully. Like, talk about the fact that in Tyler Perry films, usually you have a dark skinned man who is the villain and you have a light skinned man who swoops in to save the day and be Prince Charming. I've heard plenty of dark skinned black men get upset about that. But now Ari doesn't get to feel how she feels. If you are going to talk about patterns, you also have to bring in other shows where this same dynamic occurred, like Living Single with Max and Kyle. Ooh. So see, if you're going to do it, just do it thoroughly. That's all I'm saying. Do it all the way. But either way, all those things I just named, I still enjoy because we do enjoy things that are problematic. We enjoy people who are problematic. And there, like I said before, because people get it twisted, it's all about what you can tolerate. Like, for example, me, I can't listen to R. Kelly music anymore. That's a line for me. But that don't mean that I won't watch Martin. That doesn't mean that I won't still watch the Cosby Show. See, and Cosby and R. Kelly ain't too much different. But we all have our things where we are going to still choose a thing that somebody else wouldn't choose. And guess what? You got to be all right with that because it's not you. You do what's right for you and let other people do what's right for them. That's all. But the only reason I wanted to say anything at all is because I really was feeling the type of way about how people are attacking Ari Lennox for what she said. When one, it's not new, and two, she has a right to her feelings and her opinion, and three, you don't get to tell that black woman how to feel. All right, what y'all think? I'm gonna go ahead and go about the rest of my day, and I will see y'all soon.